Hi there, I'm Christopher Dunnigan. This is HandmadeInVermont.com, and today we're talking about the Hubbardton Forge Linea outdoor post lantern. This is the 342026. So I think this fixture can go in a lot of different applications. I think if you tweak this with different finishes, metal finishes that are darker or lighter, you can change the context of this greatly. So if I want to put this in front of like a arts and crafts house or a rustic mountain cabin, I would probably go for coastal dark smoke or coastal burnished, actually take it back, coastal bronze, something like that. On the darker side, a little more rich. I think you can make this look very arts and craftsmen. But if I want to put this in front of a mid-century modern house, like in Los Angeles or something like that, or Phoenix, I would probably do coastal burnished steel, something like that. A lighter finish that really makes this more modern. I think you can do a lot with this fixture. It's pretty cool. Let's get into the size of the fixture itself, and that's going to be from the bottom of what's called the collar. That's that kind of barrel shape on the bottom that slides over the post to the very top of it, and that's going to be 21.5, and then this is 16 by 16. It's 17 pounds, in case you want to know that. It's going to ship with 12 feet of wire, which is good to know as well. The glass on it is 10 inches wide and 15 inches high, which is great because it's going to be able to accommodate a big bulb, and we're going to talk about that in just a little bit. But before we do that, I want to zero in on the installations instructions really quick. So if you're on the page for this on Handmade in Vermont, look over on that side of the screen. Midway down, you're going to see a link. It's going to say click here for installations instructions PDF. Open that up for me. It's going to show you a full parts list, and part of that parts list is going to be that glass. It's going to show you how it goes over your post. But it also, if you zero back to our website and you have that pull down menu, it says choose your mounting application. So it's going to give you a pretty good list. And before we go there, if you have your own 3-inch outside diameter post that's round, you can actually use that with this fixture as well. It'll just slide over the top. However, if you do that, I would probably recommend using the black finish just because it's going to be easier for you to do a black post that matches up than trying to match Hubbardton Forge's finishes, which are kind of tough. Okay, zeroing in on the pull down menu again, you're going to notice you have an 84-inch post, you have a 71-inch post, and you have a 5-inch pier mount, and they're all very different. And I also think it's a good idea that whichever one you're looking at, I would take that model number up there, go back to Hubbardton Forge's site and plug that in and look at the install instructions for that, because they're very different in how they're made. So the 84-inch post is going to be just a straight post down. It'll have no flange on the bottom. A flange is that 5-inch square piece that has little holes in it, and that's on the other two applications, the other two pieces that you can order to put this on. But that one that's the 84-inch is going to be a straight shot all the way down with a hole in the side, and it's pretty important that you're not surprised by that. You want to talk to your installer and show them that that's how that's going to come, so they do the appropriate steps of digging the hole, concrete, and those kind of things. Now the 71-inch post, that is going to have a flange on the bottom and using J-bolts, so look at the install instructions for that too. And then the last one is going to be a pier mount, a 5-inch pier mount, about yay big. You're going to be using that on things like a 3 or 4 foot stone wall, maybe pillars at the end of your driveway, maybe some other application that I don't really know that you can use something that's only about that big. And if you use that, that's where you want to use what's called the cover cap. And the cover cap is that square piece, actually I take it back, round piece, that's going to slide over the post or over the pier mount and hide the flange on the bottom and hide those little attachments. If you're going to be putting this into your yard in some place or into the ground someplace out there, digging a hole, putting the bottom of this below grade, and that's going to be for the 71-inch post or the 84-inch post, you most likely will not need the cover cap. If you're in a quandary about that, just reach out to me and I can kind of walk you through it again. Okay, now let's talk about what's going on inside of this as far as lamping. You can get a lot of light out of this because it's got a nice big piece of glass. It can accommodate a nice big bulb. So let's talk about that. Usually the recommended bulb to begin with is going to be an A19. That's just a standard size light bulb like this. We all grew up with it. If you want to go for an incandescent, you can go up to 150 watts, but I don't think you even need to bother to do that because there's so many great applications. There's that word again, applications. There's so many great light bulbs, LED light bulbs you can use in this, and it's just a regular screw-in socket, so it's very simple to find bulbs for. So A19 is going to start you off, but again, that piece of glass is really big. So let's say you want to get a lot more light out of this, and you want to use an LED. You can bounce up to an A20. There's an A20, and this is the phosphorus ones that I like. And the reason I like these is, and here's an A21 even bigger, the bottom of this is porcelain, so it blocks light going out. So all your light kind of goes out in one direction, or this direction at the top. But when you get into these, the driver of the LED is hiding down here, so you don't have that porcelain blocking here. The light comes from all directions. I kind of like these. Wherever you can find these, you can find these. Every hardware store, home center, all those places, you can find them on Amazon, doesn't matter. So let's go back here again. Easily, I can find it a 60 watt equivalent, 75 watt equivalent, 100 watt equivalent. I can also find an A20 at a 150 watt equivalent. I've bounced up to this size, A21. I have found that at a 300 watt equivalent on Amazon. Does anyone need that? Probably not, but just shows you that you can get lots of light out of this if you need to, and that's going to be kind of important because it's a post light, and you might be looking for your dog way out in the yard someplace, but it's there if you need it. The color of the light coming out of these bulbs, these LEDs, you're going to notice when you go to the store is going to vary quite a bit. They're going to offer these in 2700 Kelvin. That's a super yellow light, like a setting sun. They're going to offer these to you in something called daylight, which sounds like a warm light, but it is not. That is a bluish white light. Don't think it's a great match for me anyway, but some people do like it. In the middle of all that we use in our showroom is warm white, soft white. That's the light coming down on this table from these 3000 Kelvin bulbs above. So that's what I probably would recommend for you to get in this fixture. And then let's go to California for a second. So if you guys are in the sunny state of California and you are doing new construction or renovation only, that's where this is about, the building inspector might be coming out to visit you, and what they don't want to see normally is this. And California has a thing called California Title 24 compliancy on some outdoor lighting projects that are new renovations, new construction or renovations, but it varies town to town, so you want to talk to your installer about it. So this is just a good old-fashioned screw-in E26 socket that this is going to come with automatically. But those building inspectors sometimes want to see this fancy GU24 socket setup where it doesn't ever allow you to use an incandescent bulb. So that may be one of the things that you might have to do. But talk to your building inspector, or actually talk to your installer first. Don't tip off the building inspector yet. But this is something you might want to do. We do this as a custom. So if you need this, just circle back to me and we can do it for you. If you want to see what this is going to look like in your project, we have a really cool way to do that. You can email us a picture of your yard, picture of your pool area, or whatever you're thinking of putting this in. We can take this fixture, put it using our very powerful AI tools, which are awesome. Take this fixture, put it in your picture, send it back to you so you get a full color rendering and you can see what it's going to look like. It doesn't cost you a penny, and it's a great way to see what something is going to look like long before you buy it. I want to touch base on Hubbardton Forge's opal glass for just a second. So all of Hubbardton Forge's glass to begin with is going to be hand blown. This piece is hand blown first in clear. Then they're going to come in and they're going to blow another layer of white glass on the inside of this. The third step is they're going to take and they're going to sandblast the whole thing on the inside and the outside. That's going to give you this beautiful, mellow, translucent, milky piece of glass. When you look at this and you can see the layers are actually piled up on the inside of this. Hubbardton Forge is very obsessed about details on all of their pieces, including their glass, and that's why you're here, because you're probably just as obsessed about little details as well. Hubbardton Forge only uses aircraft-grade aluminum to make their outdoor fixtures. Aluminum holds up the best in incredibly harsh environments. When you're out and you look up in the sky and you see all those jet airliners running around up there, those are all made out of aluminum for a reason. And part of that reason is it holds up great, like I said. It also forges beautifully. It holds finish beautifully. It doesn't rust. Remember that. It's very important. And they're virtually indestructible when they're all finished. So how Hubbardton does it is they take the fixture itself, they're going to wire it up at the top, they're going to put a wire at the bottom, they're going to send a current of electricity that's going to go through this fixture, making it positive, and they put it into a spray booth with a picture of the woman next to me. You can see she's spraying finish around it, and because it's positive, it's going to adhere to every nook, every cranny, the top, the bottom, the whole thing. After that, they're going to take this and they're going to move it into an oven. That oven is going to melt all of that down and create a very hard shell. So it makes it, again, virtually indestructible. So they've also tested these things in these wind chambers. So they take the fixture, all covered in that epoxy powder coat. It's going to go into that chamber. They're going to shoot salty seawater at it at high velocity for hours and hours and hours, just like you were at the beach and you have like a hurricane coming in, which to me is going to be pretty much the worst environment you're going to run into. So after they tested these and found out that they hold up incredibly well, Hubbardton Forge offers basically the best warranty in the lighting industry. And you can see that on the page for this. So if you scroll down a little bit, there's a link, and click on that, and it'll show you the entire warranty and how it all works. Okay, showroom. Our showroom in Vermont has over 400 Hubbardton Forge fixtures. This is the biggest showroom in the world of Hubbardton Forge. No other showroom is like this. Hubbardton Forge doesn't even have their own showroom. They use this one. What's on display? We have a great tab on that. And those same red tabs, you're going to see a what's on display page. So open that up. It's going to show you everything we have on display, and including which finish, which shade, all of those things, and what kind of glass it's on there. We're open every day except Sunday, 11 to 6. I'm here every day except Sunday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. We also have an amazing clearance center. Clearance center stuff is 75% off MSRP. It's returns, discontinued stuff, showroom samples. You have to come here to use it. Can't call us or email us about it, but it's definitely worth coming in to look at if you're in Vermont. Plus you want to use the showroom anyway because there's just so much great stuff here to see. Our number in Vermont, 802-446-2400. You can email us 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. Love to answer emails, and it's sales@HandmadeInVermont.com. So when you order from HandmadeInVermont.com, shipping is going to be free to every state except Alaska and Hawaii. No tax if we ship out of the state of Vermont. And we're the only dealer with 90-day returns, no restocking fee. Nobody else does that. Some larger items are going to be non-returnable. It's going to be really important that you are looking at the fixture on that page and kind of scroll down under the description. It'll tell you if that is the case. And that's usually for really big, giant, huge fixtures, mostly that go out on pallets. Okay, that's it. Rush program. Let's talk about that. So rush program, Hubbardton Forge generally takes about 3 to 4 weeks to go out the door. That's production time before your transit time. You always have to add that on too. We offer a rush program that takes you from that 3 to 4 weeks down to a little under 2 weeks. It's a very small addition per line item. So if you have like 1, 2, 3 items, like let's say 3 or 4 outdoor sconces, and they're all the same size and they're all the same finish, that's one line item. So it's very inexpensive to rush those kind of things. Don't be afraid to email us and ask about that. Okay, so that's really it. If you guys have any other questions, let us know. We would love to see you in our showroom sometime. And thanks for stopping in.